This is the Veritable Veteran Podcast, bringing truth and exposure to the struggles veterans and their families face post-military. Depression, anger, PTSD, suicide. Who am I? What do I do now?
Hey guys, welcome back. The Veritable Veteran Podcast. My wife does still exist. She just hasn't been on the podcast in forever. And I mean, I wasn't on for like a year, so she obviously wasn't on either. So now she's here and we want to just kind of...
The party has arrived.
Yeah. We just want to talk about life and...
the one everybody actually wants to listen to.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
So we're just going to just talk about what... a little bit about what's been going on. Also just kind of what's going on currently. And just life in general.
It's been pretty crazy.
Yeah. It's been a couple of months. Even since I started back, it's been a busy, interesting couple months. So,
Well, I mean, like our life has even been different because, like, as I was homeschooling for the last 3 years, homeschooling our kids, and after I quit my teaching job, I homeschooled all of them for 2 years, and then our two oldest ones went back to private school last year. And then now all of them are in school. And then our little one, our 3-year-old, starts part-time pre-K next week. And so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
And that's just been a weird dynamic in and of itself.
yeah, just getting kids back in school and figuring out what I'm doing, because I'm doing this full time now and trying to figure out the schedule with, there's 6 kids, 5 of them are gone, but I still have to figure out what I'm going to do with the 3-year-old, and I can't just,
Well, and you're not alone in that either. Because I'm still home because
Yep.
I have my own business as well.
Yep.
But
Well, and I don't mean that you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you're busy too.
Yeah.
And, you have a job to do, and it's just figuring that stuff out. So it's just like it's just life. You're just trying to figure it out and trying to work around all the little minor inconveniences. Not that a 3-year-old's an inconvenience, but just the things in life that, come up.
Well,
and yeah,
he's not an inconvenience.
He can be inconvenient at times.
Yeah. He's in that what can I possibly get into stage right now.
Yeah.
Like, for example, today he asked for pudding and I was like, okay. And I gave him pudding, and I had some things I needed to do in the office. And so I give him pudding and I'm like, great, this is an awesome distraction for like 30 seconds. I get 30 seconds to go work in I need to do something quick in the office. And then he comes running into the office covered head to toe in chocolate pudding. And he thought it was hilarious. And he had just painted his hands, his face, his clothes, his hair.
Just looking like William Wallace, ready to go into battle with his chocolate pudding.
And he came to me, and of course he came running through the door, slams open the door with his pudding hand. So he left a pudding handprint on the door, and he comes to me and he's all proud of himself.
Look what I did.
And I was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I gave you the pudding to eat, not to pay. And I go out and it's painted all over the table. It's amazing the amount of destruction a 3-year-old can do in a matter of seconds.
Yeah. So there's that.
So it's been interesting trying to coordinate our schedules around, literally it's tag teaming with him. And it's if one of us is going to leave the house to go somewhere, we're always take the 3-year-old with you. Take him with you. He's less likely to
Yeah.
get into trouble if he's out with you somewhere.
Yeah. 100% less likely to ruin something or break something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Oh,
so
man.
besides him, just, and again, it's just life, but it's just, trying to keep you guys updated and understand, kind of what's going on. And there's been some issues with my medication that have been exceedingly difficult that I don't even really want to talk about, but we're going to. Um, and I had been on an SSRI for about 13 years, and it just plateaued and wasn't working, and which is common. It happens. Um, so I was looking at some different medications, and
Well, and even with that, like, we're gonna be honest, like, I feel like, and not to, like, say anything negative on you or anything. It's like, I feel like I had been telling you for a while, like, I don't think your medicine is working, because it used to be, I remember when it used to be I could tell when you weren't taking it. And then it was like getting to the point where it was like, this isn't working
yeah,
anymore. And, and, but like, I guess I never really like pressed it though. It was just more of a like, hey,
yeah,
this might be something to consider. Like maybe looking at new medication. But I don't remember what made you like, I don't remember what event, because I feel like there was like kind of a major event for us that you decided like,
I don't know. I don't remember.
may have just been kind of an accumulation. Honestly, it was probably just everything felt hard
Yeah.
for all of us.
Yeah, so I don't remember what event pushed it over. I just needed to get it fixed. So I went and talked to my doctor and tried to get onto a different SSRI, and that didn't work. So I got put on an SNRI, and that made it 100 times worse. So now I'm on some different medicine. So, and this all started back in June. So, I mean, it's been 2 months of just ups and downs and extreme irritability and rage. And it's super frustrating because I don't know what to do, and I'm trying to figure it out, and I understand that it's not just medication. Medication's not the answer. I'm trying to get back in with the VA to talk to them. I'm trying to improve my relationship with God because that has been put on a back burner, and it's not been a priority for me, which is a problem. So I think I'm on the right path, but I'm not far enough along down the path yet to be mentally healthy again. I'm still volatile, and like even now I just don't want to do this. Like sitting here I don't want to do this episode, but
Yeah.
it's and this is one thing that, not to be cheesy, but it's like it's a commitment that I made to you guys to put out a new episode on Thursdays, and I still need to do it, and
Well, and you're like pushing through the hard, and like that's admirable. And, you know, like, to just to be transparent here, you know, like we edited out a clip, where our dogs were barking, and it was just, for me, it wasn't bothering me,
that was super
but it
overstimulating.
was,
It was super overstimulating for me,
yeah.
and like I
And
when I one yelled at them to be quiet, but it's like that, just that, you know.
yeah, it's like just like things like that. So we as a family have been facing this where it's like, you know, for him, like just normal life noises have just been extremely overstimulating and extremely um I don't know what the word is to like overwhelming. And so we've got 6 kids. So, like, the amount of, like, what is considered normal
Yeah.
for our family is louder than the average family. And so you can imagine, like, the state that you've been in and just, um, so just being transparent. So, you had your medicine you were on for 13 years.
Mhm.
And then you got off of that and then went on another medicine, and at first, for the first, like, 2 or 3 weeks, we thought it was working. But I think what it actually was happening was your body was almost just, like, not detoxing, but, like, just in that, like, transition phase, and it was, like, so there wasn't really one particular medicine that was in full effect,
Yeah. Well,
and,
that and there was probably less stress at the time because
yeah.
it was like the middle of summer and it was like there's not a lot going
Yeah,
on.
kids
So,
swimming. I mean,
yeah,
it was just like,
not a lot going on. So it's just
no.
less
Yeah, I didn't
life
think about
stress.
that. Like, it was just kind of,
We were in just autopilot, which I mean, it was fine. It was nice.
yeah,
Just we were both home. I was still dealing with trying to figure out how to do this full time, but I was still home and just kind of
yeah.
coasting, which was fine, but it
Well,
was less stress than
and
now.
also and also I think we were also kinda coming off the high of, like, having won the arbitration, you
I
know,
think I had switched before that.
you oh, you had
Oh, wait,
switched
no.
no.
No, no, I'm sorry, I did, but we were waiting on the arbitration results because I was switched the beginning of June, and that
Oh,
was
okay.
after the
Really? It was oh, I
yeah.
didn't realize you had switched meds before that.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So it was like we were on the high of, just, like, the arbitration having gone well and, like and just summer was fun
Yep.
and it was like, um, and then at some point, you just realize that that new medicine like, how was the new medicine making you feel? Or how did you feel on that medicine you transitioned to?
It didn't feel like it was doing anything. Like, I felt like I wasn't taking anything,
Yeah.
and, I mean, maybe oh, no, because I was gonna say could have gone on a higher dose, but I was already at the max dose because it was a different again, it was a different SSRI, and I was on the there's only 2 dosages, 20 and 40, and I was on the 40, so you can't go any higher. So they said, "Let's try this other medicine," which was an SNRI, um, and that addition of the norepinephrine, um, increase caused my anxiety and irritability to go to the stratosphere,
Yeah.
um,
Well, and then,
and
like
then had to come off of that, which, yeah, that was just if you don't take it, then you have really bad withdrawals, or not withdrawals. It's just
well, I mean, it is like
yeah,
withdrawals. It really is. Um, and, like, I was gonna say, just to kinda dig a little deeper in just, like, how you were feeling with like, so before you switched to the SNRI, is that what it is? Before you switched to this SNRI, like, when we realized the other one was actually not working was, like, you started having just episodes of, like, really deep depression. Because I remember because he was, like, sleeping all the time, and you were just really,
yeah,
really depressed, and then alternating with, like, severe anxiety. And not as much of the irritability, I feel like, it was just kind of like this swing of, like, depression, anxiety,
yeah,
and, and then you told me, like, "I this isn't working.
yeah,
Like, this is not working." And so then you called your doctor, and then she put you on the SNRI, and then we found, and she warned us. She warned us that if it doesn't work for you, it's going to be bad.
yeah.
It's I feel like we kind of went into it not blissfully unaware, but just not prepared
Well, I knew
for
that it was gonna be it was going to cause anxiety. She told me that like the first week or two, it can cause anxiety. But if you kind of work past that first week, it'll start to level out and it can start to really work well. But as it's getting into your system, it can cause a spike in your anxiety. So I expected that. And I was like, I was irritable and my anxiety was up. And I was like, okay, she told me about this. It's fine. A week goes by and I'm like really still anxious. And then like another 4 days goes by and I'm just like,
Almost getting, like, ragey at this point,
I
like
was beyond ragey.
yeah, like, it was like, instead of him dealing with, like, side effects, it was like it pushed him completely far in the opposite direction
Yeah.
of and that's when I started, like, researching it like crazy, and, like, that particular medicine he was on, they said that, like, negative like, for people that it does not help like, it's one of those, it either helps you
Yeah.
or it makes things
Or it
worse.
doesn't. Yeah.
And there's no, like, in between of, "This just isn't working."
Yeah.
It's either gonna help you or it's going to, like, escalate your issues, and, like, that's exactly what it did. It was just like, rage, and we've been transparent about, just your alcoholism and everything, and it felt because, you know, when you were drinking, you would get ragey like that,
Mhm.
and I told him, I was like, "This is how you got when you were drinking, and you're sober.
Yeah.
You're sober." And so it's like realizing that, and I mean, and I remember you even saying, like, it was making you feel like you were, like, almost losing your mind,
Mhm.
and so
Yep. It's better now because I'm off of it, and I
yeah.
started taking a different. I'm back on an SN or an SSRI with a it's like
Oh, like a
like a
supplemental?
rescue, like an
Yeah,
emergency anxiety med just to help kind of bring the anxiety down. But that's also um, she gave me that to help with the side effects of coming off the other medicine. So I
yeah,
haven't really been taking that as much as I could be, which is I'm trying not to. I
yeah.
don't want to keep taking it if I don't have to.
It's definitely, so to kind of because we're talking about this more to just be transparent
Mhm.
for, and so that people feel like less alone, in all of this, and just for people to understand the journey that people like seeking to get mentally healthy,
Mhm.
just the journey that takes and like how hard that is. Um and so like when she was weaning you off of that awful medicine, it's like you couldn't go cold turkey
Mhm.
because then it would be bad, and so it's like at one point you were taking all 3,
Mhm.
that one
Yeah.
and the rescue med and the new SSRI.
Yeah. And that it was
So what
like
was
she
kind of the
even
weaning process for you with that?
it wasn't hard. Like I had to just take it. I didn't take it one day because I just stopped taking it. I told her I wasn't going to take it. And then she called me back and was like, okay, I know you don't want to take it. So you didn't take it today, but I need you to take it tomorrow. And then you can stop taking it. So there's like a day in between. Like I was taking it, then I stopped one day, and then I took it the next day, and then I stopped taking it. So I mean, it was simple. It was simple as far as like it wasn't like I had to take half a pill or anything. Um, but it like she even said like when you stop taking it or when you miss a dose, she's like it's gonna give you, and this is her words, not mine. It's gonna give you scrambled egg brain, and it was literally just like that. My mind just would not stop racing, and I couldn't form a cohesive thought. Like I was literally walking around the store waiting on my medication, and I was like in a fog, and I was like physically uncoordinated to a point where it was like
Yeah.
I found myself like almost stumbling, but not quite. It was like I could almost feel myself starting to stumble, so I would kind of like, compensate and make sure I wasn't. But it was just everything was so off. And it was
Yeah.
awful. It was
Yeah.
horrible. Um Not saying that it won't work for somebody else, because they work really well for other people. So
Yeah.
it may work for you. I'm not telling you take it or don't take it, but it was not for me. But, I have a lot of people message me and just, they talk about how their meds make them feel terrible. And the first thing I ask them is, how long did you take it? Because it takes 4 to 6 weeks for most medicines to get into your system, so it's like, if you don't have that baseline of how it's going to make you feel after a month, you're not going to be able to know how it's going to work.
Yeah.
So, and again, if it's making you feel the way I was feeling, you need to stop taking it.
Yeah.
Like that,
Yeah.
it's probably not going to get better. And
Oh,
if it does, if it takes that long, no, it made me feel, I was literally at the point where, like, I didn't want to die or kill myself. I didn't want to kill myself, but I was perfectly fine with just dying and not being here anymore. And I told my doctor that. I was like, I have no plans to hurt myself, but I don't want to be here anymore and deal with this. Like, it was that bad.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, that's not,
Yeah.
no,
that's not living.
We should probably just stop taking that. I'm like, yeah, it's probably a good idea, because, and in the back of my mind, I'm like, I need to stop taking this.
Yeah.
Just, but I knew that because I know my body and I know my mind, and that wasn't normal. And even, it wasn't even slightly above normal. It was way, way outside the normal.
Yeah.
And just encouraging guys that are trying, and girls that are trying to find a medication that helps them. Medication is not the answer. You cannot just take medication and get better.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of trying to rely on it too much. Like, in the past, I tried to do it without doing therapy. And, even recently, like, because of all this stuff going on, I had gotten out of therapy, and I've kind of become more reliant on just the medicine. And I'm working on getting back into therapy, because I realize I need to do that. I can't just take the medicine. But it's a hard process. I mean, it takes weeks and months. Like, it's not, you can't just go to a doctor, they prescribe you a miracle pill that works for absolutely everybody, and your anxiety and depression are gone. It doesn't work. I mean, you're just talking to my doctor, there's dozens of SSRIs. There's several SNRIs. There's atypical antipsychotics. There's there's another medicine that I was on that didn't work. It's not even an atypical antipsychotic. It's something else. I'm not going to say the name, but I don't even remember what the classification was. The reason I'm not saying any names is I don't want to encourage anybody to take something or don't take something. I'm not doing that.
Well,
you got to talk to your doctor, and I'm not a doctor. So,
well, and I was going to interject like this to say, because we have to, like, we are not doctors. Like, we are not.
Nothing that happens to me is going to happen to you. I'm simply telling you what happened with me involving this certain classification of medicine. That's it.
Yeah.
The point of all this is to say, though, it's a process and it takes time, and you have to fight for what you want, but you have to be open with your doctor too.
Yeah.
Like, what about your medicine don't you like? Like, what is it making you feel? Why is this not normal for you? Like, what is it causing inside of your mind that you don't like? Or you can't just say, well, it makes me feel bad. Cool story. Doesn't tell them anything.
Yeah.
How? Is your heart racing? Does it feel like somebody's choking you? Does it feel like you're about to throw up? Are you nauseous? Are you unable to sleep? There's a million things. And you have to be open and honest with your doctor and say, it makes my head hurt in a way that doesn't make sense. It's not like a headache. It just feels like I've got a really heavy hat on, and it just feels like it's just sitting on my head, right? Which is,
that's actually a really interesting way of describing that.
It's different. But if you just say I have a headache, they're like, oh, well, that's just one of the side effects. But that's not necessarily what you're feeling. You have to be descriptive in how you're describing this. Like I said, like, it felt like someone was choking me. It felt like they weren't choking me, but it felt like someone was just walking around like this.
Yeah.
With just their hand on both sides of my neck. And I hate that. I hate, like, shirts that are tight on my neck or pressure on my neck. I hate it. So it felt like someone just had their hand just resting, just kind of heavy on my neck all the time. And I'm like, get off. And it made me extra irritable.
Yeah.
And when I told her that, I was like, it feels like someone's got their hand on my neck and it's just pressing on my my neck and my my
Or
chest.
throat,
Yeah, my throat. But it wasn't like I wasn't having trouble breathing. It wasn't like I was,
Yeah.
there wasn't that. It was just, it felt like someone was. And for me, like whenever I would have to get dressed, whenever I would have to get dressed in my dress uniforms and I had to button that top
Yep.
button, I
Oh,
wanted
man, he would
to fight people.
Yes.
Like, if you want to see me rage out, tell me I have to button the top button on a shirt because I have a smaller body frame and a thicker neck. So I would get a tighter shirt, but it's tight in the neck and it
Yep.
would choke me. And I'm telling you, do you want to see me rage out? Tell me to button the top button on a shirt and put a tie on. Like, I'll do it, but I'm going to go in a room somewhere by myself because don't.
I
It's
remember.
bad. It's just
Yeah.
bad for me. And
Yeah.
that triggers me in a way that it's silly and I get it and I try not to let it. But that was what I was feeling 24/7. So you can imagine if that triggers me and I'm feeling that 24/7, I'm on edge already. I'm
Yeah.
already angry. Like starting the day off, I wake up just mad because it feels like someone's got their hand on my neck. So you have to be descriptive in what's going on, why the medicine isn't working.
Yeah.
What is it making you feel? Does it feel like you've got ants crawling on your skin? Again, just be descriptive anyway. But it's important for you to say that because a lot of guys, they say, well, it makes me feel like a zombie. Okay, that's better. But again, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
Like you feel like you're tired, you feel like you're in a
you
fog, you
are
feel
you
like
always,
because
like,
a zombie
spacing
wants to eat
out? Yeah.
brains, right? Like a zombie wants to eat people. So you want to eat people? Like, is that what we're doing bath salts now and like we're just gonna eat people's faces? I'm confused. Again, you have to be descriptive.
Yeah.
And you have to advocate for yourself and say, nope, don't like this. Nope, don't like that. Do your own research.
Yeah.
Do your own research and say, this medicine sounds like it might work for me. I did my research. It sounded like an SNRI would work for me. I talked to my doctor. She was like, let's do it. We got an SNRI for you to try. I was wrong. Wrong. But again, now I know.
Yeah.
My issue is not a lack of norepinephrine because that is what an SNRI helps you with.
Oh, okay.
There are 3. I held up one finger. That's 3. I held up one finger. There are 3 drugs that medicines work with in your brain. Serotonin, norepinephrine, and dopamine. Okay.
Yeah.
All the medicine that you take basically comes down to regulating those 3 chemicals.
Maybe you don't have enough dopamine.
It may be. And that's what the atypical antipsychotics work with.
Oh,
so again,
okay.
That's why she was talking about maybe that's the issue. I don't know. We're going to try this one for a little while. I may end up stopping everything and then trying again later.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that's an option too, because like if you have been on a journey of trying to find the right one and especially if like you're in Evan's case where, he had been on one for like 13 years and then he's like, I need to make a switch. It may be that your body needs a vacation.
Yeah.
Like it could be that your body just
I need a vacation.
I know I need a vacation. Hell, you want to go on vacation together? Just the 2 of us?
Yes.
And we'll just pile the kids in the van and take them to Grandma and Grandpa's, drop them off with a note, and then leave and don't tell them where we're going.
Well, I'm going to follow you in the truck and I need you to crash the van in the front yard so it's not usable. And then
no.
bail into the truck and we're leaving.
Then they will come after us for putting the children in harm's way. So what we would have to do.
No, I mean just like crash it in the mud so it just gets stuck.
Okay, so
and then you're like, oh no, I'm stuck. Bye.
Oh no,
and then run away.
And then we tell them we're gonna go get something to help pull it out.
Yeah.
And then we just leave and we say we'll be back in 4 days.
And then I send them a picture of me on the beach 12 hours later, and they're like, oh, excuse me.
Your parents would be like, okay. Well, I don't know. Mom would probably be calling us like every hour. Come pick up your kids. No. Just throw our phones out the window and then they can't contact us.
We're just going off the grid.
No, we wouldn't do that.
But yeah, as far as your body being overloaded and just
it's a very real possibility.
Yeah, and that's the thing that it happens. Talk to your doctor about it because if you haven't been taking medication very long, that's probably not what's happening. But again, talk to your doctor.
Yeah.
Be honest and open with them.
'Cause, like
And honestly, I probably need to have been seeing a psychiatrist or a psychologist for my or a psychiatrist for my medication needs because I've been seeing like a family doctor. Family doctors are great. Nothing against them at all, but a
they're just not
psychiatrist would
as
probably be able to do not probably, would be able to do a a more efficient job of getting the right medication. That's their specialty. That's all they do
yeah,
is getting helping people with psychiatric issues. So anyway, that's just you know kind of the one side of what's been going on, and just trying to work through that. And it's been a lot of sleepless nights and naps and just walks and going on runs and leaving the house to try and avoid yelling at the kids or snapping and just being snippy. And because honestly it's just starting to become I've started to become just rude even with the kids, and it's not okay. It's not their fault. um and with you just over basic things, and it's just trying to
yeah.
work through that and not use it as an excuse and a crutch, because again it's not an excuse to be that kind of person, to be that to react that way. Is it going to happen? Yes, but you don't have to.
Like, it doesn't need to be your, like, whole personality,
Right.
and, well, and the other hard part is just, like, the frustration of, like I I think an added element is just almost the frustration of, "Great, like, another one that's not working."
Hmm.
And it's like and, like, having because it gets exhausting. I mean, even for me, just as the spouse, like, and you're trying to figure out how to support your husband as best as possible, and but also, like, trying to protect the family from the side effects, essentially, of like, the bad side effects of the meds, and trying to, um I think that's why sometimes people, like, will literally book themselves into a hospital while they try to
Yeah.
figure out their med situation, but it's like, when you have a whole family and everything, that's not plausible, like, when you have,
Well,
like, a
it
job,
is if it's to the point where
if it's to the point that it's
you
necessary.
need to,
Yeah.
and
Um,
that's one thing that a lot of people, it prevents them from doing it. But I would rather spend a week in the hospital
Trying to
and
figure out
yeah,
your
or
meds.
even 2 weeks trying to
Yeah.
figure this out, which I don't know. It depends. You could be there for however long,
Yeah.
but generally it's not even that long. They can help you pretty quickly, at least get you on the right path.
Yeah.
I would rather spend a week or two in the hospital than make a decision that's going to affect my family for the rest of their lives and, traumatize my children and my wife, because I went and killed myself, or I went and drank myself into a coma and, got into a DUI and, killed somebody. Again, it's just the people are like, well, I can't afford to go to the hospital. I can't afford to, to miss work. It's like, yes, you can. It may
Yeah.
suck for a while, and there may be consequences for your boss may call you and be like, "Hey, man, like, I understand that you're having mental issues, but, we can't have you not here." And that's not them not supporting you, that's them trying to run a business.
Yeah.
And it's you're gonna have to make sacrifices to get your mental health right. I mean, and I've been blessed to be able to be off work and be home
Yeah.
during this time and not have a job outside of the home and not have, uh obligations outside of the, just my family and my social media stuff.
Which, honestly, we are really grateful to all of you as his supporters who have allowed him to get to this point, where he can focus on you all full time. Like, that's why he's able to respond to your messages on Facebook.
Yeah.
I mean, because he gets messages regularly, and he responds to as many as he can, and like having, so thank you.
Hmm.
Like, we are really grateful
Yeah.
because your support has helped, and this is not like an ad, saying like support him, it's just we're truly grateful.
Yeah.
And and if he didn't have the ability to be home during all of this medicine, trying to figure out the medicine and everything, it would be so much harder.
Yeah.
Like, it would be so much harder.
Well, and that's, people, they'll message me and they're like, "Hey, I'm sorry to bother you." And I'm like, this is literally why
What
I'm here.
Yeah, this is literally what I do.
Like, this is literally, like, I'm not a counselor. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not even a life coach. Like, I don't have any certifications in those areas or anything like that. But I have ears and I care. So if you shoot me a message and you're like, "Hey, just wanted you to know, like," or "I wanted your opinion on this. I wanted you to know, like, thank you for what you're doing. Like, do you have any opinions on X, Y, or Z?" I may not even know what X, Y, or Z are, but I'll at least respond to you and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what that is. Uh, but I can
Or I've
look
never been
into
in
it."
that
Or, yeah,
situation.
like, or if
Yeah.
it's a situation you're in, like, I've never been in that situation, but I can try to, give you whatever advice I can, but I'm not just gonna ignore you,
Yeah.
but you're not bothering me. So if you feel like you want to message me and just talk with me or ask me a question, I have some guys that just message me and, like, we literally don't talk about anything other than, like, just life. Like, we
Yeah.
don't, it's not like a coaching session. It's just like, "Hey, how are you?" I'm like, "I'm good. What's up?" "I'm just working on my guns and working on this and that and the other. What's up with you?" "I'm, working out in the woods and I'm cutting grass and I'm trying to fix my truck," or whatever. So if you just want someone to talk to, like, I'm here. That's literally why I do this. That's why I don't have a job. That's why, I answer messages at 3 in the morning, because I'm probably up going to the bathroom, or,
Yeah.
my kid climbed into bed and kicked me in the face and I'm awake, and I check my phone and then I have a message from somebody who's going through it at 3 in the morning, you know.
Now, don't be creepy all about it,
Yeah, there are
though.
creepy
There
people.
are some pretty creepy people.
"Hey, I hope we can be friends.
Hey,
You're a pretty good looking
you're
dude."
you're handsome.
Blocked. Like,
It was coming from a dude.
yeah, this dude is like, "Hey, hey."
He's like,
Like,
"Hey, handsome."
this is not the first time I've received that message either. "Hey, handsome." I'm like, delete, banned, blocked.
Oh, man. Um,
I need to just start collecting screenshots of all those
yes.
messages, posting them, and not dox them, not put their picture and their name out there,
Yeah.
but just post it and be like,
Don't
"Hey,
embarrass them.
don't do this."
You're going to have people who are going to go embarrass them. Embarrass the crap out of them.
I had one lady on TikTok send me a message. "Can I send you money?"
Oh.
I'm like, I don't know how to respond to this.
My laugh was probably just really loud with them. That's hilarious.
Yeah. I don't think I told you that, but it was because it was so random. Like, it wasn't even like a, "Hey, I like your stuff," or, "Hey, cutie," like, nothing. It was just, "Hey, can I send you money?" And I just, like, sat there and looked at my phone like,
Well, and you're like not sure how to read it. You're
yeah.
like, "Hey,
Are you
can
offering services?
can-
Like, are you trying to purchase me? Or are you trying, like, should I be afraid? Or are you just like, you're like the Ugandan prince that has money in his apartment and he's just trying to give it away? Like, take money from from this guy who's just got millions of dollars to give away for no reason.
Oh
I'm
my
sure
gosh.
that's on you.
I did not know that. That made me laugh. Really, that's hilarious.
"Can I send you money?"
That is
I was like,
hilarious.
I'm just gonna pretend I
No,
didn't see that.
no thanks.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
Most of the messages, 99% of them, are good people just thanking me and, saying hi and asking for opinions or advice or whatever, which, by all means, like, that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't be weird. I mean, I've had people be like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And they're like, then they'll say like random like veteran, humor stuff, and I get it. It's funny, and we
Yeah.
laugh and we joke, but like some of those
Or
people are
you'll
like,
get these random one-offs of people going, "Hi."
"Yeah,
Like,
hi."
how do you expect him to respond to
Like
that?
I legitimately
"Hi?"
picture the gif of Forrest Gump on the boat when he's like, and I'm just like standing on the beach, and I'm like, and then they're like, and they just float away, and I'm like, bye, I guess. Like,
I mean, they're entertaining. It's like
whatever.
every time you get the random
Hi.
"hi," it's like, "Hi?"
Yeah.
Oh, we like rabbit trailed.
I don't know.
I don't know. Basically,
That to
all that,
say, there's a
yeah.
lot of, thank you for all your
Yes. Oh,
support,
yeah,
and
yeah. Thank you for the support.
it's been
Yeah.
fun. We get a lot of random messages and comments, and
Yeah.
it's been hilarious reading your guys' comments. And
But and we have just been so we've been trying to just figure out how to kind of expand things for you. I mean, because he's starting, he's been invited to special speaking engagements, and we're trying to, figure out how to grow that and all of that. And there's definitely been, we, we have been realizing more and more we have a lot to learn.
yeah,
Just uh,
yeah.
going into this full time, there is a lot
Hmm.
that we have to learn.
Yep.
And, and just,
But I
I
like
think,
how it's been going, and it's
yeah,
been, we've been able to kind of do it at
incremental
yeah,
pace.
incremental pay.
Yeah.
Like, we're not just getting launched face first into it. I mean, we did get launched face first into it, when I got fired, and then
Yeah.
like that was in like,
You know,
oh, hey, by the way, God was like, so I want you to do this full time, but I'm not gonna give you the option.
yeah.
And I'm like,
What do you
wait,
mean?
what do you mean
What
I'm
do you
not
mean?
gonna? And then
Yeah.
and I'm like, you know,
you, you get fired
like
from your job.
like I'm on a train going,
Yeah.
100 miles an hour, and God's like, you see all that out there? Look at the flowers,
Yeah.
And then anyway, so
Well,
yeah,
and
it's just, it happened
honestly,
fast, but
yeah.
it's the best thing that could have happened. But
And if you don't know what he's talking about, just
just go listen to
go
the
listen to a
episode.
couple
Like,
episodes
it's just called
ago.
"We're Back." It's the episode that
Yeah.
I posted when we started posting again consistently.
And, because he was unlawfully fired. And honestly, like, in the end, it all worked out in our favor. I mean, he took it to arbitration, he won, and we do plan on doing an episode where we kind of dig into that a little bit more, because some of it is entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Like, some of
Yeah.
it is really entertaining, and, like,
And I think, I
and
mean,
it's a
we,
fun story to
yeah,
tell. Like, when it was I'm not saying it was a fun time in our life at all. Like, it was a horrible time in our life, but, the whole arbitration thing itself was
yeah, it
that was
was,
so
yeah.
fun. I wish we had a video
Well,
of that
and
whole
like I had
thing.
always said, we had always said to each other, and I had, said to myself and to other people that I talked to, winning wasn't winning my job back. Winning was being able to sit in front of an arbitrator, a third party, and lay out all of
All
the
the
grievances
evidence.
and the
Yeah.
evidence of what they had done to me and what they had used to do it.
Yes.
And once I was able to lay all that out and stand there and just hold it out to a third party and say, this is what they did, and have her look at it and go,
Well,
y'all fired him for this?
yeah.
Interesting. And then to watch the chief, like, just turn like ashen when he realized all the stuff that was being lied about and manipulated, that was winning.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just to get vengeance on anybody or anything like that. It was just to say, when they say you'll get your day in court, that's exactly
That's
what it
exactly
was.
what
I
it
was
was.
able to present everything from
Yeah.
from A to Z and say, this is what they did. This is why it upset me. This is why I did what I did. And maybe what I did wasn't, I don't want to say it was what I did was wrong. Some of the stuff that I did was wrong, and I admitted that, and I had always admitted that. but it was nowhere near the level of being fired.
Yeah.
And like needing to be fired. Because there's people there that have done much worse and even done like unethical things that should have been fired a long time ago, but they're still there.
Yeah.
But like I, have an argument with my supervisor and then I yell at a clown on the street.
Well,
and they just
that
axe me for
episode
it.
and that episode is like what they when you yelled, you weren't even, I wouldn't even consider it yelling. Yelled at
I don't
the
think
guy.
they've really heard me yell.
No, and
that was
that's the thing. And and it was honestly funny, and we'll get into it more when we do our like more detailed episode on it, but it was honestly funny because when they were playing the video of for those who don't know, he was a police officer. They were playing the video of him like arguing with this civilian who is being completely
unhinged.
Like this civilian who's being ridiculous. When they started, because I had not seen the video until arbitration, and they played the video, and I literally sat there, like my jaw almost hit the floor not because I was like shocked by your behavior, because I was like, that's it?
Yeah. Like I literally went to the IA office after it happened and I was sitting with the investigator and he's like, I'm going to show you the video. And I'm like, okay. As if I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there and he plays the video and I'm like, that was actually much less intense than I thought it was.
Yeah.
Like it was very underwhelming. And
yes,
he's like, do you have any questions? And I was like, no. I said what I said. It's right there on the video. Like, I don't care. Like I said what I said. Anyway, there's more to it. We'll get into it, but it was funny when they tried. It was almost like, I'm going to show you this video. It's hard to watch. And I'm like, no,
even
it wasn't hard to watch at all.
Even
the arbitrator almost laughed.
Yeah.
She literally was like the look on her face was like exactly like, she was like
if you're listening and not watching, because by the way, you can watch his episodes on YouTube now. And so if you're listening and not watching, like the look he's making, like the look the arbitrator made was like this like confused, dumbfounded, like seriously.
And she looked at the city representatives and was like, that?
She's like,
that's the video that you're going to use? Like, you're going to go with that. Like, this is your evidence.
She was honestly my favorite part of this whole
she
thing.
was the best part of it all.
She was my favorite because she
her
was
facial
like,
reactions,
no holds bar. Yeah. Is that the expression? No holds bar?
No holds barred.
Barred? No holds
barred.
Holds barred.
Yeah. Because it's like a wrestling thing.
Oh, okay.
So like, no holds, so I can put you in any kind of hold.
Oh, okay. So like I was not expecting her to interject as much as she did.
Like her facial expressions, like she's like reading and she's like, and I'm like, I thought you were supposed to be like objective, and she's over here like, and then the one, she's like, they keep asking the guy questions and he won't answer, and she's like, and just like looks at him like
straight up looks at him,
answer the questions, and I was like.
She was like, it's not a hard question.
Just answer the question. I mean, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. She's like, yes or no.
Yeah.
It's not a hard question.
Imagine like an older, well, maybe not older, a sweeter version of Judge Judy.
Yes. Like she was super sweet.
Like super nice. But she was just like, when they wouldn't answer questions, she's like, it's a simple question.
Yeah. She was super nice, but like on the stand, and I'm putting air quotes because like it was just kind of like a mock courtroom.
Yeah.
And but on this, like she didn't get feisty, but almost.
She did a little. Like,
yeah, she got a little feisty. When
there's people who were dancing around answers and dancing questions,
like you could just see her visibly getting like frustrated. Yeah. Like she's just like,
and then I get up, and then I get up on the stand.
You get up on
and
the
she's
stand.
Like this the whole time. She's like,
she has like a super poker face the whole time you're on the stand. And I was like,
and I'm like, man, everybody else got like the animated, and she was like,
I think it's because she already knew what decision she was going to make.
Probably, but I was like, man, where'd the nice lady go? Like,
no,
she was all nice to me when I wasn't on the stand. And then as soon as I got up there, she's like, I have to put on my mom face. I'm like, sorry.
I feel like the irony of that whole situation, like the firing and everything, the irony is like they they fired him because they, used this evidence to try to claim he was like a ticking time bomb,
Yeah.
this like angry individual. And you know what's ironic is like what happened to him during that whole firing, like because he wasn't until, and it was like the firing is what set
It was
you
the
off.
ultimate
It was the
gaslighting experience.
yeah,
where they're like,
yes.
you're crazy. And I'm like,
Yes.
no, I'm not. And they're like, have you ever seen Anger Management? The
No,
movie.
I haven't.
Okay? I haven't seen the whole movie, but there's a scene where they're on an airplane.
Sorry, I'm going to open my thing.
And Adam Sandler is, go ahead.
Sorry, because
Adam Sandler is on the airplane and he's like, the flight attendant is like, sir, I need you to stop yelling. And Adam Sandler's sitting in his seat and he's like, I'm not yelling. And he's like, sir, calm down. And he's like, I am calm. He's like, sir, stop yelling at me and calm down or I'm going to call the police. And he's like, I'm not yelling. And you can see him start to get upset. And then he's like, sir, calm down. He's like, I'm not yelling. And he's like, and he snaps. Like, and he just lets him have it. Like,
sent the microphone into
yeah, I know. But like, I mean, he just like snaps and then he gets in trouble, right? And he has to go to anger management courses and all this other stuff. That's exactly, they're like, you're crazy. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, y'all have been pushing me, lying about me and pushing me towards like
we have evidence,
the frustration that I'm feeling. And then I end up dealing with this unhinged moron who, whatever, which isn't uncommon as a police officer. I get it. Like, you're going to have those people, but like, I was already kind of on edge because of the way they were treating me. Yeah. So then this happened and it just kind of pushed me a little bit further,
But still not like,
again, I didn't fight the guy. I didn't cuss him out. I didn't scream at him.
You didn't scream at him. Like you raised your voice.
Yeah, I told him off.
You did not.
I told him off, basically.
Yell at him.
I was like, I called him a petty asshole because he was being petty.
Yeah.
Like, again, I have said worse.
Yeah.
The other officers say worse on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So again, it was just silly, but that's exactly what it was. They were just gaslighting me into being like, they're like, you're crazy. And I'm like, no, I'm not. They're like, yes, you are. I'm like, no, y'all are lying about me and making me crazy because like, the way you're treating me. And then when I finally get upset, they're like, oh, see, we told you he's crazy.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, but thankfully we won. And it was,
we won. But then I feel like the stress just, is it me or is the toddler out? Because I heard someone trying to open the door.
Maybe. He would have made more of an effort. That may have also just been a nut falling off the roof.
Oh, okay.
Hitting the roof.
Because we're in like a separate, we're still...
we're in the bunker.
In the bunker.
So the children are running around. One of them's naked.
That's not true.
One has a torch.
That is not true.
And then one's riding.
Our oldest is supposed to be babysitting right now. He's actually pretty good about it, but he's a teenager.
Yep. No.
But I feel like the stress, of that whole thing, honestly, because it was like we both were. I mean, both of us. I mean, it was and from the time that everything started with them gaslighting him to winning the arbitration, it was over a year.
Yeah.
So
it was 13 months.
Yeah.
Almost 14 months.
So it was just this long stretched out process of stress.
Well, and we were just consumed with it.
Non-stop stress.
It was just all consuming because it was like, am I going to lose my job? Am I going to, what are we going to do if I lose my job?
Yep.
And then how is it going to, so I didn't lose my job the first time when I was on an IA for arguing with my supervisor. God forbid that you have an argument. So I get sent home and I'm home for, a month. And then I'm home for 2 more months while they wait for me to get and this is another thing. They send me for a psychological fit for duty to make sure that I'm able to be a police officer, based on something that happened 6 months before that I had told my supervisor about.
Yeah.
And they're like, see, you're crazy. And I'm like again, like what? This is wild. So this was a year long.
Even his
Like,
lawyer, like, told
yeah.
him that they did not have grounds to send him for fit for duty.
No,
Like,
absolutely
they
not.
did not
Like,
have legitimate grounds.
I pissed somebody off.
Yeah.
I pissed somebody off. I spit in somebody's eye, apparently, and they were getting rid of me one way or the other.
Yeah.
And it was obvious they were going to use anything they could to get rid of me. Whatever. It was a year-long process of constant stress. June of 2025 rolls around, we win the arbitration. And it's like this massive weight falls off, which sounds like a good thing, right? Except we're like braced underneath it, and we have been for the last year, and all of a sudden there's nothing on top of us.
Yeah.
And it's like if you ever, on like a really long, hard hike with a heavy pack on, you get to the very end and you take the pack off, and it's like, it feels good, but you're also all of a sudden you're like, whoa, like what?
Well,
and
and it's like,
it's like there's nothing to push against. And it's just,
yeah.
it's weird. It's hard to describe, but there's a lot of,
imagine you are like, so you're under this heavy weight. You're under this heavy weight. Damage is going to happen.
Mhm.
Damage is going to happen while you are under this weight. And then when the weight gets lifted off, the damage is still there.
Yeah. And then you start feeling it because
And then you start feeling it.
there's no,
kind of like the same thing of like, when someone gets injured and you have to apply pressure. Well, when you release the pressure,
yeah,
it like,
well, it's a lot like getting out of the military, when you fight to keep all that, whatever damage is done, you fight through it because you have a reason to.
yeah,
And then as soon as you get out, that reason's gone.
yeah,
So it's like, oh, that's why a lot of guys go that I did, where my back started hurting really bad. My knees were shot. Like I got fat because I just like I didn't want to run anymore. I didn't
you
want to
didn't
do
get
anything.
fat.
I got chunky,
I was going to say, you didn't
but
get
like
fat.
I got unhealthy. And it was just because all of those injuries finally caught up, because once I had no reason to continue fighting to stay healthy and pushing through that,
Yeah.
the pain of that, it was like, oh, I don't feel good.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, well, you don't have PT in the morning, so sleep in. So I slept in, and then, well, you don't have PT tomorrow at all, so you can drink tonight. Oh, okay, so I'll drink tonight, and then it all compounded. And then, because you don't have that purpose of, I need to be physically fit to be able to fight or do my job. Once that was gone, it was kind of like, and
Yeah.
then, and it was kind of
Well,
like
it's
that
like,
all over again when
yeah,
the arbitration. And I'm not saying it's the same as leaving the military, but it was similar in the fact that I had something driving me for a year, and then all of a sudden that driving force was very quickly taken away.
well, and it was like driving both of us
Yeah.
because we both were working on it together. I
Yep.
mean, like I feel like I was more familiar with the department's policies
Yep.
than most of the police officers there, because I had gone into full-blown research mode.
Well, I can guarantee you are more knowledgeable than the officers that are there, since when, it's time to sign policies, everybody just does this, click, click, click,
Oh, my
click,
word.
click, click, click. But it's okay. I'm sure everybody reads them in their spare time.
Yeah. So, and a lot of the stuff that I found in my research ended up helping us, in the arbitration, because I was like, they broke this policy, they broke this policy, they broke, and I just,
And it came down to us fighting
yeah,
for ourselves
Yeah.
and fighting for my rights
yeah,
and knowing our rights and knowing the department's policies and what they did wrong and what we did right and what we did wrong. But what the punishment should have looked like had it been handled correctly.
yeah,
And stuff like that, So once we had to do a lot of the fighting for ourselves. I mean, it's a lot like when you're, trying to get healthy mentally, you have to advocate for yourself. And like
Yeah.
the attorney said, the likelihood of you winning is directly proportionate to the amount of work you put in. So we put in a lot of work.
yeah.
We put in a lot of hours and
It was
hours
like a
and
full-time
hours
job.
of, studying,
Yeah,
what they presented and just punching holes in it, just constantly.
Yeah.
And it was a 24/7 thing once we got the documents. But that didn't last for the full year, but that was, but every single day it's just playing in your head all day
Yeah.
long, and that's why I got off the podcast for so long, was because I couldn't focus on
Yeah.
anything else.
we were so consumed by this. And it's good because, like, because even the attorney had told us, he said, "You need to make this your priority.
Yep.
Like, you need to
If you
have
want to
this.
win, you
If you wanna
better
win,
you better make it a priority.
this has to be consuming, all consuming." And, so imagine, this whole process, and then we win, and it's like there was the whole, like, "Yes, we won," and then we hit the, "Now what?"
Now what? Like instantly.
Like,
It
yes,
was like, cool, we won.
instantly.
We let everybody know, like call my parents, call my friends, like tell them, hey, we won. And then like that same day, it was just like,
Yeah.
now what? It's just like you're super high and then you're just completely deflated. And it's like,
Well, and then like, you even admitted struggling with feelings of, like, feeling like you needed to have some kind of, like, what did you say? You said it was like you almost felt like you needed to have some kind of, not tragedy, but some kind of,
oh yeah, like
like
a
like
hardship to
a
work through,
hardship to work through.
something to work through. Cause it was
Because, like,
like,
all of a sudden, like, this was our hardship.
yeah,
This was the hardship, and then it was gone, and it was
I
like,
think I said crisis. That was it.
yes, a
I needed a
crisis,
crisis.
yeah, and he was like, and what's ironic is, like, the whole thing he was fired over was basically them attacking his mental health, which at the time,
Yeah.
he was fine. I mean, and then it was like that episode is then what, like, I mean, you won, but then it was like, then that's when you just plummeted, and it was almost like it
Like the
was,
medicine had not been working. And then I pushed through it because I had this driving me.
yes.
So once the arbitration was done, that's when I got super depressed and realized like this medicine's not working because it hadn't been working and I knew
Yeah.
it. But looking back, that's when I started realizing like this is not working.
Yeah.
Um, and I need to get switched. So maybe it was June or like the end of June, beginning
Yeah.
of July when I don't remember. Either way, it's been a couple months
Yeah.
and it's just been a roller coaster. But it was like when the when the wheels fell off after the arbitration is when I really started struggling with my mental health again. And because I didn't have that driving force behind me, pushing me to do that. So it was like, that's when I was like, okay, now I can focus on getting better. And that's when I started trying to switch medicines and all this other stuff. So, and that brings us to here where I'm
Yeah.
still, you know, trying a new medicine and getting back into therapy and
Well, and we're also even like trying some, like, more natural elements, like,
Mhm.
he also, um, takes, like, magnesium citrate,
Mhm.
which is, to help anxiety
Yep.
and just calmness and stuff, and
So I did learn something from trying that new medicine. I always thought my biggest issue was depression. According to what I have discovered, that is
that
incorrect.
is not it.
And my biggest issue is anxiety
Yeah.
because anxiety makes me very irritable and the irritability makes me ragey and the rage makes me depressed afterwards.
Yeah.
Now, I did deal with a lot of depression when I was on the other medicine, but I think that's because it wasn't working at all. I think if I'm on a good serotonin regimen, whatever medicine that I'm on, if it's working properly, um, it. So I think I struggle with both. But when the doctor asked me, "Does your anxiety cause depression, or does your depression cause anxiety?" I had said it was kind of both. I was wrong. It's my
Yeah.
anxiety causes the depression.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's like the depression is almost like depression of the fallout
mhm,
that your anxiety causes,
yeah,
and it's like,
yep, and that's so I learned something again. I don't ever want to go through that again. But there's always something you can learn. And now I know, like Thomas Edison said, he didn't fail hundreds of times making a light bulb. He learned hundreds of ways not to make a light bulb. I learned very clearly there are two medicines now that I've tried that do not work
do
for
not
me.
work.
And I go to the doctor and that helps because again, I'm like, hey, this one didn't work. And I explain what happened, what it made me do, and what it made me feel like. This one didn't work. This is what happened. This is what it made me feel like. And they're like, oh. and then just start typing in their computer like, noted, we don't use those medicines. And those medicines work on certain chemicals in
Yes.
certain ways. So that eliminates this medicine and this medicine and this medicine because those are very similar. So let's just
Right.
put those
Put
over
all
here.
of those away.
Now we can look at these ones and see,
Yeah.
okay, which ones of these will help. So every time you try one that doesn't work, it's not a failure. It's just simply eliminating one because, again, they don't know.
Yeah.
They're doctors. It's called a practice for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's not called, perfection.
Yeah.
Like they don't know what they're doing. They know what the medicines do. They don't know how it's going to affect you. And you have to be open and honest with them in how it affects you and what it does.
Well, and also be willing to do your own research.
Yes.
And it's like,
Oh my word.
Please
do your own research. Hey, listen, doctors nowadays are using ChatGPT to pass medical school. Think I'm joking. Think I'm joking. Think I'm joking.
No. La.
Think I'm joking.
I don't know.
Okay. So when they say do your own research, when we say that, when someone else says it, do it.
Do it.
Just do your own as much as you can. You're not a doctor. That's fine. Just because you're not a doctor does not mean that you don't understand your body and your mind better than anybody else.
Yeah.
So if they're like, well, I think this would work for you and you don't think so,
tell them
that.
Yeah.
And be like, and again, you're not the expert. Air quotes by a lot because they say they are because they went to school for 8 years. They don't know your body like you do. They don't know your mind like you do. They are there to advise you and to help you. If you want to get better, it's up to you.
Yeah.
So if you're not invested in your own health, if you're not making sure that one thing I've done recently is my diet has changed quite a bit. I've started eating a lot more cleanly. I'm trying. I don't eat very clean generally, but I've started eating just, again, more eggs and meat
more
for breakfast.
protein.
More like rice and chicken.
We're trying as a family.
We're trying to eat more
more healthy as a family, and
I'm drinking more water. I bought a big water bottle and I just chugged water all day long. That's why I'm constantly going to the bathroom because I'm just chugging water all day long. So I'm trying to take other steps alongside the medication.
Yeah.
Like the medication can help level me out, but if my diet is crap, it's going to, cortisol is formed in your belly, and cortisol, if your gut health is messed up, it's going to mess up your brain and all this other stuff. It's all connected. So if you're living really crappy in one area, it's going to affect the other areas too.
On something else we got a grounding mat. And if you don't know what a grounding mat is, like they make grounding bed sheets, grounding mats, they even make grounding pillows. I was like doing tons of research on grounding mats, and you have to, just grounding materials, and you have to really research because there are a lot of like, what do you call them? Like fake companies.
Yeah.
Like a lot of fake companies and
sell you a bed sheet with a cord.
Yeah.
That doesn't do anything.
That doesn't, like, so unfortunately, a lot of the really big ones that pop up immediately, they're fake. Like they're not legit companies. So honestly, you're almost safer ordering from Amazon because
usually if you order from Amazon, it's verified.
It's verified. Yeah. Usually.
If it's Prime, even more likely that's been verified.
Right.
Because they don't just sell from any vendor.
Yeah.
They have to go
Granted,
through a verification
it may have still been
process.
made in China, but
well, a lot of stuff is, and that doesn't mean that it's
right.
China showed that a lot of the luxury brands here in America are actually made in China. So
right. And
take that for what it is. But.
So and honestly, we can even drop the link to the one that we bought in the comments or in the well, yeah,
in the description.
In the description, yeah. Because like the one that I found, it had a lot of good reviews, and we actually got like a $20 off coupon, so it only cost us like $20, and it's literally like it's called a mat, but what it is just like kind of a bed sheet strip.
It's like the width of a table runner that runs across your bed. So it's like
a table runner that runs across your bed.
This wide-ish, and
if it just
runs across the bed.
Yeah, if you know anything about grounding, so like grounding is important. Like that's why they say, people are like it has to do with static electricity and like and just that's why they say walking barefoot in the grass is really good for you because you have to research it. There's a lot of benefits to grounding, and so it's this bed sheet strip and they do full bed sheets too that like lays across your bed, and then and then it has a cord attached to it that you plug into the grounding port of your like plug, and it sends, and it's perfectly safe. It's not like you're getting electrocuted or anything like that.
Don't wet the bed because you'll die.
That's not true. But and it's more effective. It's more effective if your skin is touching it. So
You got to sleep in the buff.
you got shirtless.
I sleep in the nude.
He got really excited about the possibility of me having to sleep shirtless. Anyway,
so we're sleeping naked now.
I didn't say that. We have children who like to run into our room. And I think we've already shared the story of the one time one of our kids.
I don't think we have. That's for another day.
That's for another day. Let's just say.
So grounding mats.
Yes. And there is like a detox period, and we've been definitely feeling that, since starting it. But so we got it partly to help him and partly to help me, because it helps you get better sleep. It helps you, if you have a lot of inflammation, which I do. I actually suffer from multiple autoimmune issues. And that was another thing, is through all of this time with his firing and him trying to work through his meds, I have been dealing with, because I have chronic pain, and which has then resorted in weight gain issues and things like that. And so I've been working through my own mental stuff of that. And so it's been hard. And so this grounding mat, it helps with autoimmune, and I was going through severe pain, and just after sleeping on this grounding mat for a couple days, I have felt the pain getting better. And so it's definitely worth trying. So we're trying other things. And then we even reached out and are going to start doing marriage counseling. And
I have we're getting marriage counseling with our pastor. I've started again, like working on my relationship, my private time, with God, reading the Bible and praying and studying, which is something I've gotten away from, but I know that helps me. Obviously it's my relationship with God is extremely important, but I had let it just kind of fall by the wayside, which happens. If you're not intentional, it's going to happen. And that's ultimately the most important thing. And I need to continue working on that. And that's, there's a Christian organization called Mighty Oaks Foundation. In September, I'm going to one of their retreats, and it's specifically designed for veterans and just helping veterans deal with, the stuff going on in your head. And, so again, and it's a free program. So it's not like I'm spending a ton of money on getting better. You have to make time for it though. It's only a week long, or it's like it's from Sunday to Friday. So it's like a week long, and it's paid for. I didn't get this as a sponsorship for my, from my page, or it's nothing. It's not a paid. They're not paying me to go to this or anything. My buddy went to it. I applied for it. They called me and they said, "Hey, we have one in Oklahoma at this time in September. Can you be there?" Since I'm in Oklahoma, I'm like, yeah, that's perfect. Because there's a year and a half long waiting list to get into some of these things. So, but I didn't know. I was fully prepared to wait a year and a half. And I found out, hey, we've got an opening next month. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
Which honestly was a massive blessing in disguise, because that was a big blessing, because we did not anticipate him getting in. That was a God thing.
Yeah.
That
because
was
had
I
not applied when I did,
he would have missed.
Because the registration was almost up. I was already late when I applied, and he basically called me and was like, "I've got one spot left. Do you want to go?" And I was like, he's like, "Because if you don't go, I'm sending somebody else, because I've got another guy that just emailed me 10 seconds ago asking the same thing." And I was like, "Yes, I'll go." So God aligned that perfectly to where I emailed him just before this other person, hopefully, obviously not want to take anything away from them, but God made that happen at the time that it was supposed to.
And it needed to. I mean,
and it's going to be good, because it's a retreat where I can go, and I'm at like a lodge, but they have a large property where you can go and you can fish and just walk, or you can hike and you can just go sit outside, and there's a
Well,
bunch of stuff that.
it's literally focusing on your mental health,
Yep.
and it's and they go to sessions and seminars
Yep.
to train them working through anger, working through all of the effects
Yep.
of all of that. But I think we are probably
Yep. I think
probably needing
we
to
can come
close this
back
out.
and do a
Definitely.
part two and continue
Yeah.
talking about it, but just wanted to give you guys an update on what's going on with us. And just share, the stuff that we've been going through and how it could, maybe help somebody and help them
Yeah.
understand, like the whole medicine thing. It's not a solution, but it is a tool to use. But it is a fight
Yeah.
because you have to fight for it. The doctors can't give you a magic pill. They can give you a pill that will help you, help regulate the chemicals in your brain. But if you're not willing to fight for your mental health, it's only going to do so much.
Yep.
So that's what I'm dealing with. That's why my original content on the page has been a little bit less recently because I haven't been making as many videos. Um, but that's the main reason why, is
Yeah.
just dealing with that and trying to work through this stuff mentally. Um, but just trying to be open and honest with you guys and just let you know that that's kind of what's going on. And it is a fight. And if you want to get better, you got to fight for it.
Yeah.
So, and
And
it
just
doesn't affect just you, it affects your family.
everybody.
And if you're not fighting for your mental health, you're not fighting for your family's well-being either. So,
Yeah.
and I'm 37. I've got 60 years of life left potentially. I mean, that's if I lived in 97, that's pretty old, but I'm saying I've got more of my life left ahead of me than is behind me. So, it's not like people are like, "Well, it's going to, I'm so old and I'm having to get better now." It's like you can get better at any point and it doesn't take that long.
Yeah.
A year, 2 years,
In
in
the
the grand
grand
scheme
scheme
of
of
things, that's
things.
nothing.
Yeah.
And you're going to look back on that and think, man, I'm really glad I took that time to get better.
Yeah.
And are people going to look at you like you're weird? Yeah, probably. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, you're focusing on yourself. When you focus on yourself and you try to get better, it looks selfish. And that's not to say that you should be selfish and just focus only on yourself. But if you get to that point where your mind is just like completely broken and you have to get help, it's worse.
Yeah.
And recovering that from is a lot harder
Well, and the
than,
fallout with your family
yeah.
and everything is a whole lot worse.
So, but if you're able to step up and say, I'm not in a good spot, I need to get this fixed, and you prioritize that, and you say, I'm not ignoring you guys, I'm not putting anything on the back burner, I'm just simply putting this on the front because this is important. And if I can fight through this and I can focus on this for 6 months, for a year, it may not even be that long. Just put it as a priority and fight through it so you can get better. And then you can turn and focus all of your healthy energy on your family. And it's, again, you're not shutting your family out for that time. But if you're not prioritizing getting well, you can't be there for them anyway.
Yeah.
It's like if you had, cancer and you're just not getting treated. It's like, well, I'm focusing on my family. Like, cool. But what happens if you don't treat this cancer and get better? You're never going to be better for them. So if you stop focusing on other stuff to get this fixed, then you can turn and focus all your energy on your family after you get it taken care of. You've got to make it a priority and
Yeah.
fight for getting better,
Yeah. And
So,
just wanted to add the disclaimer again, like, we're not doctors. So what we say is not, we're not giving, medical advice or anything. Like,
no,
we are not doctors. We are just speaking from experience
yeah,
and sharing
just telling you what happened
our
with me
experience and
and
his
us.
experience. And to add, we just wanted to say, um, on the Veritable Veteran Facebook page, there is a group called Veritable Veterans Facebook group that you can see. It's pinned at the top of the page. If you are a veteran, you strictly need to be a veteran,
Yep.
or a service member, like active service member. You can join that group, and it's just a safe space
Mhm.
for all of you veterans and service members to talk
Yep.
and ask questions, help each other,
Yep.
support, encouragement. And then also, I'm going to throw this out there because I know Evan won't because he's too humble to ask. But if you go to theveritablveteran.com and you are looking for ways to support him and his mission and what he does, you can, I think there's literally a spot where it says support. And you click on that, and there's ways that you can donate to help support. You can donate to the podcast and help support just funding the podcast because honestly, we're paying out of pocket for everything.
Yep.
We are paying fully out of pocket for everything. And
all the software and all the hardware
yes.
and everything comes it gets expensive.
Yeah.
So
and
if you want to help,
if you want to help, you can help support the podcast. If you want to just buy him a coffee or an energy drink, there's an option there where you can just send some money. And shout out to, who was it? I don't remember the name. There was someone who sent.
They had sent some money. I don't know that we need to say their name anyway.
I don't know. I know, but shout out, you know who you are.
Yeah. They sent some money to us.
You sent some coffee money.
It's very appreciated. And a lot of that money, if it doesn't go towards podcast stuff, it's going to go into my travel fund because I have some travel coming up.
For speaking engagements,
yep.
Because he's agreeing to speaking engagements where they can't afford to pay to fly him out there. They can't afford to, they can't, because a lot of them are, nonprofits and are small nonprofits and stuff. And so oftentimes when he gets asked to speak, it's more on his dime and whether or not he agrees. And so, to go. But he is so passionate about his mission and helping people, that he does agree to some of these to go speak at these events for free. But some of that money that comes in from the support on, if you choose to support him, some of that helps fund. And we may even create a separate thing on his website where you can donate to just help support him when he travels and does speaking engagements. Because like I said, a lot of times these places can't always afford to pay for his travel and lodging expenses.
Yep.
Like a lot of these speaking engagements currently, he's not getting paid to do. He's not, and he's doing it.
People think that because I say I'm doing this full time that I'd make a lot of money on it. It's false.
False. It's literally, we go each day on a wing and a prayer. And just because I have my own job does not mean I'm just because I have my own business does not mean I'm, bringing in a lot of money either. And so, but we are passionate about this.
Yep.
And, but on that note, we saw one of our daughters peeking through the windows. And so that's our cue. We should probably go.
Yeah. Our time,
our time has expired,
but I hope that, us sharing will help somebody. As always, it's just, I say that all the time, like telling your story helps other people. So hopefully us sharing has helped, someone. Again, if you guys want to be on the show, go to theveritablveteran.com and fill out the podcast guest form. Yeah. If you're a couple, like a husband and a wife, and you want to be on the show, we can do the interviews together. So it's not just, a couple or, whoever talking to just me. So if you're more comfortable, we would like to do the couple interviews as a couple because there's more, it's more dynamic that way. There's more levels to it and more stuff that we can get into. So if you're a couple, if you have a husband and a wife pair that want to be on the show, we would love that. So again, just go to the website, fill out the podcast guest form, and we'll get back with you and get it scheduled. And then we can get you guys on and you can tell your story and we can, help as many people as we can. So.
Yep. All right. This is fun.
Yep.
All right. Bye,
Love
y'all.
you guys.
Hey guys, quick reminder, if you enjoyed the episode today, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, go to whatever platform you listen to these podcasts on and leave a review. That's the best way to help us out. It gets a lot more traffic to us. So again, if you liked it, like, subscribe, and leave a review. All right. Love you guys.